Hello there, and welcome to the Almost Homestead. I'm Janet, and today I'm going to give you my ultimate guide to Brussels sprout success. First of all, let's talk about where to plant your Brussels sprouts. So this is the site of my future Brussels sprout row. I chose it because of what I planted here last year, and that was some beans. Beans are the natural best friend of Brussels sprouts because your beans and your peas take nitrogen, put it down into the soil. And what do Brussels sprouts and other brassicas like broccoli and cauliflower need? They need a lot of nitrogen. So I planted my Brussels sprouts where my beans grew last year, knowing that there is going to be extra nitrogen in that ground. Now let's talk about my plan for giving them nitrogen through the year. Here, as you look at my little plan for where my Brussels will go, the holes that are circular are for Brussels. And what about the square holes? Those are where I'm going to plant beans. In this case, fava beans that were sent to me by an amazing friend, our Georgia Suburban Homestead. And so I'm going to alternate Brussels sprouts and fava beans. And honestly, above each of my Brussels and below each of my Brussels, I also plan to plant some kind of bean. Haven't decided what kind, maybe more fava, maybe some peas, I don't know. I'll figure it out as the time comes. By planting the beans all around the Brussels sprouts, I ensure that through the course of my growing year, I will have nitrogen consistently going into the soil. And also I'm gonna have beans, which are delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and plant some of these and take you back to show you the results. And no, I don't do anything special to prepare the ground for the Brussels except for normal compost type activities. So that in my case looks like I'm taking all of the leaves from the yard and putting them on the top of the garden in the fall last year, putting vegetable waste in the garden in trenches and things like that, but nothing crazy or amazing beyond just your normal compost activities. I'm gonna go and I'm going to dig my little holes, and then I'll bring you to show you the planting of a Brussels. Woo! And also probably the planting of a fava bean. So here I have 6 store-bought Brussels sprout plants and some fava beans that have been soaking for 24 hours. I will also have 2 Brussels sprouts I'm putting in the ground that are ones that I grew from seed, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Now let's get some plants in the ground. Because I do a no-till garden system, all I'm gonna do is use my handy dandy sophisticated tool to make a slit in the ground. I'm gonna put my little fava bean in, cover it up with the dirt, and that is done. And then for the Brussels, I already dug the hole. Same principle, I just took the trowel, made a little hole. And I'm just gonna take my Brussels, get him down in that dirt real good. Maybe I should have dug the hole a little deeper, but should still be fine. And I'm just gonna repeat this. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Did you see what I forgot when I planted the first plant? Water. So this time I took water from my neighbor's rainwater collection system, tossed it in the hole, and now we're gonna put our Brussels sprout down, down, down into the ground. For the Brussels that I grew here at home, I grew them in a jug system that basically makes a greenhouse using the milk jug. The problem is I planted in January probably I think mid-January, and I should have planted the seeds by the 1st of December. So they're just, if you look at them, they're not as big as they should be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant the two that are the biggest, which is this one. Oh, maybe 3 that are the biggest. This one, and this one. Because I do have 3 spots open. I'm gonna plant those, pull the rest, and use the soil for something else. So we've got our row planted. Every other hole is a Brussel. Got our fava beans down. And check this out. Over here, I had already planted some fava beans, and they've come up. So we already have a head start. There's another one. So when do you plant Brussels sprouts? As early as humanly possible. Brassicas love the cold weather, and Brussels sprouts are a brassica. So as soon as I see the plants being sold, I buy them, and as soon as I can get them in the ground, I put them in the ground. So today is April the 13th, and I'm putting them in. I wish I could have put them in sooner. I wish I would have gotten my milk jug greenhouses going a little sooner, but I think that this is early enough that they will do great, and it's going to be really interesting to see. The ones that I bought from the store, they're bigger, right? But the ones that are in the milk jugs have been hardened really well by being in these milk jugs outdoors where the heat changes throughout the day. They're a little warmer than the outside temperature, but just enough that I think that they may catch up to the Brussels from the box store. So we'll see as the year progresses. What other tips do I have for Brussels sprouts? Well, as far as maintaining your Brussels sprouts, I water mine infrequently and deeply. So when I water the rest of my garden, I will skip the Brussels about half of the time. But when I water them, I put more water on them. I always use rainwater. I never use city water because our city water is gross. And then you have to watch for pests. One thing that is really problematic is cabbage worms. These are little white moths that drop eggs on your plants. The eggs eat holes in your plants, and they grow into more white butterflies. Okay, this is just bizarre. Do you see my Brussels sprout plant? It has been absolutely devoured. I got most of the cabbage worms off of it, and clearly not all. There's one hanging out down there. But like, why the heck do we have this sudden infestation of cabbage worms? I try to go out once a day and check my plants for the cabbage worms to make sure that I kill them early before their population goes crazy. People use netting to put over their plants. I'm actually trying an experiment using the netting that comes around your Brussels sprouts when you buy them from the store to see if that will keep the cabbage moths off. You can also watch for them to fly around your garden and get the kids' butterfly catching nets from Dollar Tree and catch them and eliminate them. So to summarize, the basics of how to plant amazing Brussels sprouts. Plant early, give them nitrogen-giving friends like beans and peas, water them infrequently and deeply, kill any cabbage worms that you see. Hope this was helpful to you in your quest for amazing Brussels sprouts. If you have questions, type them in the comments below. If you have any other gardening questions, let me know in the comments. If I can't answer them, I'll do a live with someone who can and get you the answers you need. See you next time, and don't forget, eat something wild. Maybe a Brussels sprout. They're really delicious.